He says definitely not. Definitely not. Super Smash Brothers.
It's absolutely not. Otherwise, we would have been copyright striked.
That's right. We would have been banned or something. But anyway, welcome to the. What is this?
You just had it up. How do you not remember?
No, I'm just joking. Welcome to the WDWpov Live Stream Show, episode 134, I believe, right?
I think last week was 33.
Yeah, I think it's 34. Pretty sure we're 34 now. We have a special guest on tonight we'll be bringing on shortly, Josh Avery. But first, we're going to just talk a little bit like we usually do, just to see how people are doing. Say hi to some people out there. Jeff's out there. Jeff Haas, nice to see you. We just, I don't know. We also have some people, we're doing this multicast. It's on YouTube, Facebook, all that kind of good stuff. Mary's out there. Hi, Mary. Hey, this is your non-payroll day, right? But we'll see if we can get Steve on 2 weeks from now. Since it'll
try to see where most of the people are.
What's that?
That's what Mary's saying.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Where are most of the people? What? What am I missing here? Do I have to mute the mic? What's that? Anyway, welcome. Oh no, Mary. She said she stayed homesick. That's not good.
Oh, come on.
Well, welcome to the WDWpov Live Stream Show. I'm just going to do a quick little shout out to another group out there. And this is sort of weird that I'm doing this shout out because this group needs no help from me. I mean, they have like almost 300,000 followers on their group. It's a Disney group. Well, maybe I shouldn't say it's a Disney group, because that's been part of the problem. Apparently, in all their wisdom, I guess they were being given a hard time about the name of their group having that word or words in it. So they've had to change their name a couple of times over the last couple of months now. And it looks like it has settled to the Orlando Theme Parks and Beyond. I'm a little upset that they used and Beyond, because I was actually thinking of using and Beyond for an alternate name for our group, so we could bring in some other stuff. But I digress. But anyway, Christopher Martin, he's the main admin of that group, Orlando Theme Parks and Beyond. Like I said, it's a huge group. Started out being called the Secret Something Group, which we can't apparently use that word anymore, but it is now Orlando Theme Parks and Beyond. If you're looking for another group to be part of, there's a lot of activity going on there all the time. So I just wanted to, like I said, to give Chris Martin a quick shout out. He spends a lot of time running that group. So I just wanted to let you know about it, just in case you haven't heard of it before. Holly's out there. Hi, Holly. You had an awesome weekend, it looks like. Very, very happy for you on that. Annette is out there from the Jersey Shore. I'm going to do it right. Even though I'm not real thirsty, Annette, I will still do it right this second. Gaston. Should I do Kill the Beast? Maybe. Yeah, Disney does send out letters warning people about using that word. Kill the
Disney
Beast.
was a last name, so what if there was actually just another person out there
named Disney?
Yeah, with their last name, Disney.
I guess they would probably have to change their name.
We changed it when fleeing from Disney instead of from the Nazis.
We're fleeing from, oh my goodness. What was that from?
That's from a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
people make that joke a lot.
Yeah. Why are you halfway off the screen?
Because
I'll move over here for you.
I'm trying to pay attention to this screen, and also
we got a screen over here.
You
we got
on
a screen over here. We got a screen down here. We got screens all over the place. Steve's out there. Hey, Steve, how's it going? Oh my goodness, what a day! What a day! I've actually got a slight headache. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So I hope our special guest will be very delicate with me tonight and not upset me or anything because it's just a little bit of a headache. I don't know. I think I got too much sun yesterday. We had 85-degree weather up here in Ohio. And again, the day before, about 85 degrees. Today it hit 80. And then I think on Wednesday, we're supposed to have a high of about 30. So, yeah, Northeast Ohio, welcome.
Milk is a great painkiller.
Milk.
Unless you're lactose intolerant.
I guess that wouldn't be good. But your headache would go away, but your stomach would hurt. So, anyway, I don't want to keep Josh waiting too long. He's sitting in our green room.
I thought he was going to be on for 5 minutes at the very end.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we were going to just have him on for 5 minutes at the end of the show. I thought, can we give him a little more time than that?
Permission denied.
Oh, we denied it. You're denying permission. I'm going to overrule you on that. I think we need to bring Josh on a little bit longer than just the last 5 minutes of the show.
Okay. Let's remove that. All right. Let's switch into this view. And then 3, 2, 1.
Oh, you're taking it over, huh? Wow.
I have about as much authority as you do here.
He does. He's got his own screen. With
Welcome.
How are you doing, Josh?
Hey, I'm good. You went too early in the show with your Gaston drink because I was going to be able to hold up my chip cup and sing like Be Our Guest or something, but it's too late.
Oh, man. Well, it's never too late. It's never too late. You have microphone control, don't you? Can you bring his volume up a little bit? He knows how to do everything here.
Well, not really, but.
Kelly,
all right, can you just say something so we can figure out how?
Yeah, hopefully it's loud enough. Let me know. I'm generally pretty loud anyways, but I can try and put in my headphones if it's still a problem. Maybe that'll work better.
I think you're good. No, I think
you're good.
I think you're good.
Okay.
I think you're good. I'm not getting any echo. I'm not getting anything, so that's a good thing. So,
Okay, cool.
Josh Avery from Beyond the Pixie Dust. We have him on the show tonight. He's gonna talk, and we do have that chip cup too. Jack has.
It's almost like Disney sells that mug.
You would think.
Sounds like they actually have more of these.
That wasn't actually. You know what? My daughter, Melissa, years ago,
before they were selling stuff like that,
before they were actually selling those, she made a custom chip cup of her own.
Okay, she was the
actually
first.
did. Technically, she bought a mug and then like markered a chip onto it, but
yep. Mary says that cup looks chipped. So
it is. Yes.
Be careful with it. You don't want to ruin it.
I know. I don't want to cut myself on it or something.
Well, we could still do. We'll join forces with Gaston and Chip there.
There you go.
that would be an interesting TV show.
Nice.
That's going to be a new Disney Plus special, Gaston and Chip. I don't know. Why are your faces all blurry all of a sudden? Something weird is happening.
Yeah, you know what just happened?
Autofocus.
Uh-oh.
Except it's never been this bad.
It's not re-auto-focusing back out.
No.
Well, here we've got to do always a complication every time. And always a complication. Patrick, nice to see you out there. Give us 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and try and there we go. Let's it doesn't make sense. You're right. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense. Let's go ahead and click off autofocus, and we're going to click it back on and see what. There we go. Now I'm going to click it back off because that's what happened. It hasn't happened like that badly, but sometimes.
How is it my fault?
I didn't say it was your fault.
No, Mary's saying it's my fault.
Oh.
You just clicked too many settings. You just got crazy with the settings, and before you know
I clicked one thing.
When I do this, sometimes the camera focuses in on that, but I've never seen it not refocus back on us again. It must have been it just doesn't like us today. But I turned the autofocus off now, so it should stay right where it's at. So we should be good for the rest of the show. I'm not even going to I'm going to move this. Like, what a day. What a day. Okay. So we had him on the show, and we're just rambling on here. So Josh.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks. Good to be here with you guys.
So you have a group out there on Facebook.
Yeah.
Anthony's out there. Nice to see you, Anthony. Called Beyond the Pixie Dust.
Yep.
Actually, Beyond the Pixie. Technically, it's Beyond the Pixie Dust podcast.
No, let me Bring that back
Correct.
up.
Which it's more than a podcast, so I kind of need to figure out what I want to call it. It would be nice just to have it be Beyond the Pixie Dust, but there's a second Beyond the Pixie Dust group I found out that I guess does it just has a couple hundred followers maybe, but it does like some pictures from the park. So I didn't want to be confusing. But then again, what we're doing is much more than just a podcast. So I don't know. I have to figure that out. Maybe it's going to be like you were talking about earlier. I don't know. It's going to have some weird, wacky new name. I don't know. So we'll see.
Yeah. Like
don't you just hate it when you have a great name for something and somebody else already took it?
Yeah.
I know.
I do.
Yep.
I do.
I
was going to use WDWpov Plus.
Yeah, that's what I was going to use. And now you stole that. That's what was going to be my...
It's sort of like, remember Password, the old show Password, and then they came out with Password Plus. Even better.
That was the very first before Disney Plus, and then Apple Plus, and then everything's Plus now.
Everybody.
Walmart Plus.
CNN Plus died after 3 weeks.
What died?
Yeah, there was a
CNN Plus.
They had CNN Plus. It lasted for about 3 weeks, and they pulled the plug on it already. So,
you can experience even more news.
So apparently, Plus,
as if the 24-hour news cycle wasn't enough for you.
The ultimate news.
So
everything is a plus now. Paramount Plus.
Yeah. Everything's plus. So apparently, not all
WDWpov minus. Could we honestly do that? You're paying more for less.
We could do that. Oh, I like that. Pay more for less. So okay, Josh. I'm sorry. We're going all over the place here, but that's
off
pretty
the rails.
Normal. That's pretty normal for us. So why don't you just give us a quick, in less than 30 seconds? No, I'm just kidding. A quick summary about you, who you are, why you're here. Okay, that's not a tough question, is it?
Yeah. I mean, that could encompass a lot. Okay. So you can go all the way back to like one of my early photos, or you want me to just talk about like start with some stuff of where I'm at right now, what I'm doing with Beyond the Pixie Dust?
Why don't we do that? Let's start there. Start there, and then if you want, you can backtrack and tell us some of your history.
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, what we're doing right now kind of started. It was a culmination of the beginning of last year. In 2020, when all the shutdowns happened, I, like every other person, because Disney was closed, could not go to Disney. And so my wife had told me for a while that I should write a second book. The first book I wrote was about forgiveness, and it was through the denomination I'm a part of, a pastor in. And that was fairly simple to do that. I just knew some people in the small denomination I'm in. And so she said, well, you should write another book. And I had a lot of books, and I have a lot of books from Theme Park Press, which is probably the largest non-official Disney publisher. So like, you said
it's called Theme. What is it called again? Theme Park Publisher?
Theme Park Press.
Okay.
Yeah. So like Disney has their own publishers that, the polished up version of stories and things like, oh, this is what it's like to work at Disney, and it like the One Day at Disney book. And it's true stuff, but it's, they never put anything negative. Whereas Theme Park Press is primarily like, hey, this is really what it's like to work at Disney. And, this is some of the bad stuff that happens. And
Marcus just said, like, this is what Code V means.
Yeah. The update of previously, I didn't even realize that until recently. The new protein spill, that was the original. So
protein spill, that's another one.
That was at least, that's not even more discreet. Neither is discreet.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it really is. I mean, Code V, you can figure that out pretty quickly. So Theme Park Press publishes all these books, and I found out in the back of it says, if you'd like to write for us, send us an email with a little thing. So sure enough, my wife convinced me to email in, and I actually finished the book before I emailed in, because I wanted to have it finished and complete. And so I did, and I emailed in, and I sent a little bit of the book after that. And so earlier last year, I wrote and then published the book Beyond the Pixie Dust, Becoming an Apprentice of the Kingdom. So it didn't go translucent on us.
No, our background did.
There we go.
There you go. So that's the book that I wrote last year. And essentially what it's about is through a Disney lens. It's all about how to live a meaningful life. So the idea that every story follows the same pattern. We have the character is kind of just sitting on the couch, as it were, or just like a generic kind of a nobody, like Captain America, for example. He wants to do big stuff, but he can't. He's just too weak. You have, Snow White. She's just cleaning the palace. And so there's the normal existence. Then there's the inciting incident in the story that something happens to launch that character off the couch into a deeper adventure. Then there's a lot of conflict that occurs. And once they get through the conflict, they defeat the evil. And then the climactic scene, the new life begins. So I walk through the book through those different pieces, but then also looking at it as, if we want to live meaningfully in our lives, we need to live and follow the exact same pattern with our lives. That we need to get off the couch, force ourselves into an inciting incident, and that's going to involve some conflict, but ultimately we're going to overcome the conflict to achieve the climactic scene, and then we get that desired end, theoretically.
So you're sort of taking Walt Disney's and many people's storytelling format, and trying to apply that to your actual life.
Yeah. Just saying, how do you live a meaningful life? That basic question, and to say, whatever makes a story meaningful will make a life meaningful also. And that can be in small things, like an easy way to think about it is a marathon. If you want to do a marathon in your lifetime, which I had never wanted to, and I decided I did want to do the Walt Disney World Marathon. The inciting incident was, it costs a lot of money. And so it's non-refundable. So once I paid it, I could only run 5 miles at that point without getting tired. But 26 miles.
Not only do we have running for fun, we have paying to run.
Yeah, you got to pay to run.
Well,
now.
you get to run through all 4 parks and the wide world of sports. I mean, it is very unique, that run. Yeah. But, to say that I did a marathon, I signed up without being able to do it, but now I'm forced into the conflict of running in, January temperatures, December temperatures here in Youngstown, Ohio, to train. And that's very hard, but I got to cross the finish line, see Minnie at the finish line, and get that medal. And so that's a, that race metaphor, or story, but all of us live those types of stories with our lives. And, we all want to do things or have something, and we need to go through that same type of process. All of us are going to face conflict, even if we don't force ourselves into meaningful stories. The conflict will then be that, you didn't go to work and you didn't do anything, and so you're getting kicked out of your house because you didn't pay the bills, something like that. We're all going to face conflict one way or another. So, but this idea of that
was almost reality for us about it this last. Never mind. That's another story.
Well, so we want to live meaningful conflict, go through meaningful conflict that then results in meaning. And so that was the idea behind the book, and looking at that through a Disney lens. Talking about some things in the book that maybe some people don't know about. Like, I don't know if you have I know you're not a big reader, Jeff, so I don't know if you've gotten to this point or looked at it yet. But we talk about the fight that broke out between circus animals on Main Street at Disneyland. I don't know if you guys have heard about that or not.
I actually believe it or not, I actually skimmed through a good chunk of the book, which I am not a reader. I tell you right up front right now, I am not a reader. But there were some things I pulled out of the book, and I know one of the things I saw. This was toward the beginning. I think it was chapter 1 or 2, or I think it might have been 2. And you had made mention something about the 7 Dwarves, the cottage.
Yeah.
In Florida.
Yeah, real cottage. Yeah, it's Disney property in Gamble Place. Yep.
And that was built before Disney World.
Yes, yeah.
It was Disneyland.
Walt bought the land there. Yeah,
it was even before Disneyland, I think, right? It was after the movie, but before Disney World and Disneyland were even a thing yet.
Yeah. That idea of, one of the big questions I wanted to look at with the book is, why do people, more than anywhere else, dream about being a cast member at Disney? You might be just flipping burgers in the back of a Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe. I mean, you could do that here in Youngstown. Why is that so? I dream my whole life about this. Because I think Disney invites us to be a part of a story bigger than ourselves. And that's just what everybody wants to do. And so that reality, that the story you're talking about, is after Walt went through with Snow White and 7 Dwarfs, after it was out, there was a guy who had lost his wife. And he was a judge, and he had some money, and he built a full-scale 7 Dwarfs cottage in Florida on his property. And Walt, we don't know for sure, but it was probably one of the first times he'd ever been in that immersive into one of his own stories. He had storyboarding and all that, but to actually step into a cottage that was a full-scale recreation, all 7 beds, everything there, you know, just to think of what impact that had on him, looking at that idea of being inside the story and how that can transform you. And so again, just getting back to living in a bigger story than ourselves and being willing to follow where that road goes.
Yeah. Well, I like how you make that analogy though, about, like you said, I mean, yeah, you could go to a fast food restaurant, you could go to anywhere and flip burgers or do some of the things that some of the cast members do. It's fairly routine stuff.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, that they're part of a bigger picture or bigger story that Walt Disney originally started to weave many years ago.
Well, it's not just about the pay; it's also about the perks. Like every year.
Well,
he's doing another stupid office line.
Oh well, but that is true though too. You know, you do get perks there as a cast member.
Yeah.
But okay, you mean The Office, like on NBC, like NBC?
Yeah, The Office. Yeah, there was what was the line? Something like
every year get $100 gas card. Can't put a price on that.
Can't put a price on that. $100 gas card. Can't put a price on that. Yeah.
Or tickets to go into a park.
Yeah, tickets. Yeah, how much does it cost?
Put a price on that.
But that's cool. That's I never really. I know, like in my own mind, yeah, I think it'd be really cool to be a cast member.
Yeah.
But I never really thought about, you know, the way you just explained it. I never really thought of it that way.
Yeah. I mean, even not being a cast member, for example, my job has been a pastor, youth pastor, and I've worked in churches for a lot of my life. And I know there are a lot of people out there who have gone to churches and they've cried, you know, in services and things and been moved. I just personally haven't, just me. I don't get tearing up, but I go to Walt Disney World, and it's time for the fireworks, you know, and the lights go down and they start to play the music, and suddenly I'm emotionally moved. Now, why is that? So those types of things, again, to say, because I feel like I'm a part of something in the middle of this story that's happening around me. So just those same types of themes, talking about it in different ways, and telling some of my personal story as well through the book, as well. And so, yeah, so I mean, I wrote the book. It came out at the beginning of last year, and then I said, okay, well, alongside, I want to do a podcast along the same theme. And there's so many good groups out there and podcasts and people who have, you know, talked about what it's like to work at Disney, or, you know, talked about the latest news of Disney. And that's all great. And I didn't want to just do just another one, just kind of jumping in after all these years. So I decided to do a similar type idea, that is the idea of the podcast, diving deeper into purpose and meaning. Whether that's myself, like the first episode is recorded in surround sound and Main Street, talking about kind of the idea of how far is too far of the past. You know, when you get into like reminiscing in the past, how far do you want to go with that idea, and how much of the present should you be in? So there's some like that where we're in the parks and we're with surround sound and we're talking through things that have to do with that theme. But then there's also many where we've interviewed cast members and Imagineers, and we want to talk about deeper stuff, like a guy who, one of my first interviews was a cast member who helped assist Mickey with photos. And, you know, there's no live TVs in the park because that could be negative news and unhappy stuff. And so he went backstage and went to a break room, and he saw on the news about the Boston Marathon bombing, and he saw the terrible news and the injuries and things that were coming. And then his break was over. He had to go back out. And you had to put on the face, and you had to, here's Mickey, and smile and all this stuff. And so talking through those kinds of realities of saying, you know, let's talk about grief and hope and joy and peace, and getting beyond the pixie dust, you know, beyond the facade, and getting into people's lives. So that's what we've been trying to do through the podcast, which has led us to a new venture that we've come around to most recently. So yeah, so that's where we're at.
It's a long story.
I know. Well, I tried to do it in 4 minutes and it didn't work. So
I know. You just told your whole life story in 10 minutes. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, not quite, but almost. I tried in the last year.
So you've got the Facebook group. We've been running the scroll on there for the Facebook group. Actually, you've been running the scroll on the website, which I think the website. There we go. Yeah, the website basically, I think, is where you have more of your recent story, or what you're doing up to date. But anyway, so I'm just going to pop this up here briefly for a second, because There we go. This is Josh with his lovely wife, who she's the one who forced you into writing the book, right?
Yes, that was one of the first lines in the book. Yeah, that's my wife, Carissa is her name, and then we have two girls, Ellie and Eliza as well. So
Okay.
family of four. I'm the only guy in the family, so got three girls.
And how long have you guys been married now?
It's going to be going on 8 years this summer. So yeah, it's not too long. I know you guys have been married longer, but it's been a while.
Well, not us, but
no, I didn't think so.
me and my wife Patty. Yes, yeah, we're coming up on 38.
Okay,
37,
wow.
38.
Only 30.
Why are you asking him?
So we're almost there.
Wait, let me think about it. Yeah, 38. It'll be 38 this September. Wow. Anyway, so let's. I'm going to bring up another picture here.
Yeah.
I don't know if this will help with. There we go.
Gee, I wonder which one is you.
Yeah, how do you know? It was supposed to be a surprise. How do you know which one is me? It's not the one on the left. Is that what you were thinking? Sunglasses. Yeah. So this was, I think, it was 1996 during the 25th anniversary. My very first trip.
I got to ask one thing real quick here. Stan says he's been happily married for 5 years. How many years have you actually been married, Stan? I just want to. Okay. Anyway, go on.
Happily for 5, but
yeah, the other years weren't happy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so this is you.
Yeah. So that's me. My mom. I guess my dad was taking the photo, I suppose. And then my sister's on the right, and my brother's there in the middle. So 1996, 25 years ago, that was our first trip, which is why I have positive things to say about the castle cake, because it was my first experience of Disney.
Oh wow!
You're like one of those people that says Jar Jar Binks is a good character.
No. I just think, I think that toilet paper castle was by far the worst of all. If you've seen when they stitched toilet paper to castle, it was by far worse than anything they did with that. So,
wow. So your first experience seeing the castle in person was the cake.
Yeah.
25-year cake. Wow.
Yeah. So that's why I have a good memory, because it was my first experience of the whole park. But I mentioned that to say, just and what I know we're going to talk about here in a little bit, just something that I do talk about in the book. Part of my story is we are going to be reaching out to young adults, and myself as a young adult, specifically in college, I had a fairly easy college time in terms of I didn't have a whole lot of tensions with roommates, or, I had transitions of moving out of the house and living at Geneva College, where I went to college. But I had a big traumatic experience that happened while I was in college. And so I'll have you show the other picture of my brother. That's obviously from 1996 here, but the next photo there, that's my brother, Nick. And this was, you can tell, obviously he doesn't have any hair, because he actually was a cancer patient. He had leukemia. And he went to St. Jude's in Memphis, Tennessee. And my mom and him lived down there during the time of his treatment. And he actually passed away at age 15 of leukemia. At St. Jude. Yeah. So it's been about 15 years now since that happened. But that was right going into my junior year of college. And so right in the middle of my college experience, I had to deal with the trauma of losing my brother, who, you expect to lose. I've lost grandparents, older people, but you don't expect to lose a sibling, or especially when they're young.
Not at all.
So this was something that was very hard. And I was, at the time, at Geneva College, I was going into being a youth pastor. So I never questioned my faith as far as saying, I'm going to leave this all behind. But for me, I did have a lot of questions about things. I believe in God personally. And so I wondered, well, how much did God do or not do? Did he choose not to heal? Or, is there something we could have done different? All those types of things that come up when you go through something like this. So for me, one of the big aspects of my time at Geneva was I had a guy named Patrick, who he worked for something called the Coalition for Christian Outreach, CCO. And I had been a part of it at Youngstown State University as well. And basically it's these people who are paid full time they raise their own support, and they work full time being available for college students. And so he was available there. We had small groups and we had get-togethers where we talked through things in a more official setting. But he was just always available for me, especially during this time in my life where I had to go through the loss of my brother. And having that mentor in my life was something that really made me who I am today. Whereas, I don't know necessarily where I'd be if I didn't have Patrick and other mentors in my life. So I say that to lead into something I'm going to talk about a little bit later that we're going to talk about, but just wanted to give you that background too. My family's always been a big Disney family. I mean, not just myself and Carissa, but before that, 25 years of visiting the parks and whatnot. But anyways, all that to say.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. See, now it's interesting because I've known you for, I don't know, probably a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And for those that didn't already pick up on this, Josh is from the Youngstown, Canfield area, which is, where I'm where we're from here, WDWpov. So I always think it's interesting how, how God just sort of, how people's lives crisscross and, how people sort of meet each other. It's not by chance. I know that. So it's just, it's been interesting. So, and so now you have been talking about, like you said, you had some help when you were of college age.
Yeah.
You're starting something up that sounds somewhat similar, doing a ministry.
Yep.
Doing some ministry work.
Right. Yes.
Did you want to lead into that, or do you want? Let me ask you this. Okay, first off, so you're looking at doing ministry work with college program kids. Is that basically what the college program cast members?
Correct.
Not necessarily just. Is it just college program or cast members in general?
So we're willing and open to all cast members, but there's right now 74,000 plus cast members in Florida alone. So
you don't have enough room in your house. No room in your house to take them all in.
Right. Yeah. So we zoomed in a little more because we're already from Ohio ministering to a group of college program students, and so that idea that this kind of seems to be the group that we're connecting with the most, and so let's focus in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's cool because, and again, before our paths ever crossed, Patty and I had talked many times, and we've been going to Disney since, 84 was our anniversary. That's our wedding, our honeymoon. We've
2
been
years
going since
before I was born. So that's, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I was born in 1986. So yeah. So.
Oh my goodness. I'm too old. So interestingly enough, and it wasn't from the beginning, but, probably over the last, I'm going to say 10, 15, 20 years or so, when we've gone to Disney, obviously it wasn't our, how do I put this? It wasn't like our mission per se, but when we went to Disney, we actually kept in the back of our heads, when we talk to cast members, when we interact with people there, we're sort of looking at it like a mission. We're trying to, talk to them, make their lives a little bit better, brighten their day, because obviously they're there the whole day trying to make everybody else's lives good and better. And that's gotta have a toll. Like you said, the, one person you talked about, they're out there doing their job. They find out about the Boston Marathon thing that happened, and then they had to just jump right back out there,
right?
And basically make people happy, give them pixie dust, make everything special. It's got to take a toll, and so we for years thought, okay, let's try and just be nice to cast members. Let's talk to them. Let's treat them, special. Let's treat them special the way they try to treat guests in a special way. Yeah. Now you are actually doing a mission, basically.
Yeah,
You actually are
Yeah.
going to be doing this as a mission. So I guess my question is, you know, when we would tell people, friends, family, you know, hey, when we're down at Disney, we sort of look at it as a mission. You know, we're going to Disney on a mission trip.
yeah. Right.
You get more than a few weird stares and people looking at you like, no, you're just going to Disney because you want to be at Disney World.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie. That, you know, we were going there for the family. We were going there for Jack, you know, because this was a special place for him and it helped advance him personally. But when we'd say something about, we're also looking at it sort of as a mission, and we're, you know, greeting people and helping cast members and trying to make their days better, we'd get some looks.
Right.
Yeah. What are you running into in terms of?
Yeah. I mean, so we had probably every response that you could think of. You know, I mean, we've been our goal in just like my friend Patrick that I mentioned, and others who work for like Campus Crusades or other college ministry groups. All of those people in those organizations raise their own fundraising. They raise their own support through supporters, their own income through supporters. So we decided, okay, we're going to try to do that in 100 days, 100% in 100 days. We're on day 70 right now.
1 point per day.
Yes, exactly. Good math. So we are at 76%. So we're ahead of schedule. But to mention that, you know, in 70 days, we've had, I think at least, probably every response under the sun. Some like, oh, this is amazing. This is needed. This is great. Some people thinking that we got to watch out for spy. There was somebody who was thinking we really need to watch out for spies. And I won't get into that whole story. So there's a lot of anything you can think of. We had the response. But to the people that have responded to you with that, we've had, you know, that too, to say, okay, you know, so you're moving down to, you know, this tropical place, you know, living here in Youngstown. We're meeting with a lot of people from this area. So you're moving down to a warmer place and you're going to be like raising money to ride rides all day, or what are you really going to be doing? And so, you know, there's different people who have different perspectives, because of course, even watching your show, there are some that are watching that say, yeah, you know, I'm a Christian, or, you know, I believe in God. And so, you know, they can latch on or listen to some of that language or part of that. There are others who say, well, I don't believe in any of that. So we've had supporters, people who are supporting us now who aren't Christians as well, who look at it and say, well, you know, what meaning is there beyond the whole, you know, Christian thing or God message? So to respond to both of those groups, first of all, as far as from a Christian perspective, from being a pastor for over 15 years, Disney is a place that is more of a mission field than many places that I've been in my entire life. So we think of the international students, for example, from 11 countries represented by World Showcase.
Let me bring that.
Yeah. So for people who are wondering what this image is, on the left-hand side, that's Walt Disney World. On the right-hand side, there is the island of Manhattan, and that's the scale. So you see Central Park there in the green in the very center. So that idea that, you know, for those who are Disney fans, you know how big Walt Disney World is. But for some who aren't, they're like, whoa, it's really that big. It's the size of San Francisco. It's a huge city. So, you know, we wouldn't be technically weirded out if someone say, hey, I'm moving to San Francisco to reach people, or I'm moving to Pittsburgh to reach people because I love the culture in Pittsburgh. But we get kind of odd when we say someone's moving to Disney to minister. But there are, in one location, 11 cultures, international people. And some of those, from a Christian perspective, some of those cultures are very restrictive. So, I mean, we have Chinese students that are, you know, China, from a government's perspective, is very opposed to Christianity. You have to be careful about what you do and say if you're there. And so here, though, from a Christian perspective, we can minister openly to all these cultures, 11 countries. Now, from the other side of the coin, people that say, well, you know, I don't really buy into that, you know, Bible or God stuff. There's still the reality that, as we've been talking about, at Disney more than anywhere else, there is that level of customer service. There's the facade and there's the pixie dust. You know, when you're on stage as a cast member, what you're wearing isn't your work uniform, it's your costume. And I'm not just talking about Woody and Buzz and Mickey. This is what I'm supposed to wear to work. This is my costume.
Yeah, so it's this right here.
Yeah, exactly. So everything's a part of the show. And so to say what we're doing, a big part of what we're doing is creating a space within our own home that we can provide the emotional and the psychological support and, yes, spiritual support to minister to these people, to say, here's a place where we can talk about beyond the pixie dust, beyond those things that we have to do in our roles. So that's to get to a little bit of what you're saying. Yeah, we've had all sorts of responses, and but you know, we really believe in this mission and vision, and are really excited about it because we really know that it's needed for sure.
Now, okay, so you've been raising money, and I know a lot of missions teams do that.
Yep.
Are you physically? This is weird because I just saw you, what, about 2-3 weeks ago at a Chick-fil-A parking lot.
Yeah.
up here in Ohio.
Yes.
You're down there now?
No, so I'm still here in
Are
Youngstown.
you still working through that?
Yeah, you're probably maybe thinking a little bit based upon the website. The website is the maybe you saw the About Us page. If you do go to beyondthepixiedust.com, anybody, you'll see it says, lives in Winter Garden, you know? And so there's a little bit of it that we are moving June 1st.
June 1st. Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
That had me a little like, wait, I just saw him here just a couple.
Yeah, May 8th is my final Sunday at the church I'm at. And so we have then got time to transition and pack. But I did actually the other day, it was much faster than I ever imagined. In under 24 hours, I not only applied, but did both interviews and then was hired as a cast member. So I got officially on board.
What?
Yes,
wait a second here.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it was.
Are you kidding me?
No, yeah. I thought that the process was really slowed down because of COVID. I had heard that, so I thought, well, I better apply now. But sure enough, it was within 24 hours that I was on the Zoom, and he said, yeah, I think we'd be a good fit. So,
oh my goodness.
Officially.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. That's one of our biggest aspects, is to say, you know, I want to be a cast member. We're ministering as cast members to cast members.
Right.
I say that, I should say, my wife, we have a 1-year-old, so she can't yet work at Disney or anything like that. But everything we're doing is in our home. Yeah. And so I'm going to work as a cast member part-time. And it's funny because the one thing I said I'd never want to do of any job would be food and beverage. I was like, that's just the one thing. I do all the other things. But for whatever reason, and I believe it was God led me to all of a sudden just say, you know what, I think this is what you're supposed to do. And so sure enough, I applied specifically for food and beverage, and was accepted.
All right, now next time we're down, we have to track him down and see which place he's working at.
Yeah, we got to track you down and harass you now.
I will know. I'll know shortly. I think I have traditions on June 18th. So once we get moved in, we'll get everything settled, and then get started with the work. Yeah, so
that is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah,
so sure. Let us know, as you know, obviously message me or whatever. I want to know what you're up to, where you're going to be exactly. But this is cool. Like I said, you know, we've talked about, you know, missions to cast members. You're actually taking it that extra step further, which is really cool. But I didn't know you were applying as a cast member too. That is awesome. That is nice.
Yeah, that's one of the main ways that we want to build trust with people, and in authentic ways. And just that really authentic way of people. Yeah,
my wife from A Mother's Random Thoughts, Patty, just said, you're ending up doing it because you said you never would.
It's funny because I had that same thought as I was saying that to people, because a lot of people, when I was meeting with them to talk about possible support, they would say, now, what do you want to do at Disney? I was like, well, I know one thing I don't want to do, and here's some other things I would. And sure, I had that thought many times, like, well, now I'm probably going to end up doing that. And sure enough, that's what I specifically even applied for. So
I've learned over the years, never say never.
Yeah. Justin Bieber told us that, and we should have listened. So
that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
So this is, so this is basically like your new website, or, you know, basically the theme of it, though, is, you know, the faith, trust, and pixie, and beyond the pixie dust. So you're going to be inviting people, like, again, if people want to jump to the website, by all means do that. I'm going to post the link here too. It's scrolling by, but I also want to post the actual link. So give me a second here. Now, one of the things that we read I think it was it in the about thing? I read it. We read it yesterday, a couple of days. But basically, you said something about you'll be inviting people to the home.
Yep.
But you also mentioned something about meeting, like doing meetups. Probably like I'm guessing like very small meetups with maybe a person or two. Go get coffee or something at Starbucks at Disney Springs. Yeah. What do you have to say about that?
He doesn't like coffee, or what was that?
You seriously, Starbucks? You're not even going to. You're not going to support like a local coffee shop or a Christian coffee shop. You went specifically to the Devil's Swill.
What in the world? Okay, I didn't know that Starbucks was considered to be that. No, see, I don't down there yet. I don't know any local coffee shops, but here. Hey, by the way, for anybody who lives in this area, that means you guys check out Glenwood Grounds. It's a great local coffee shop owned by a pastor and his wife, and you got to check it out. It's Branch Street Coffee, but it's cheap prices. So an aside, but for you guys to check out, it's on Glenwood.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, except you don't like coffee.
I will drink coffee. I will drink coffee.
Marcus better go there because he's the one talking about supporting local and all this. Now he better be over there. So
yeah, he was a little upset when he heard you were taking people. You were going to meet people at Starbucks. Yeah, Starbucks.
That's just the placeholder. It may not be there if I find it.
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
Always giving people a hard time.
I've barely said anything this whole time.
I know you've been very muted at this point.
Yeah.
So I've got another.
I've been talking too much. That's the problem. Like I just over talk and.
No, you're doing fine. Oh, look who's here. Just say hi real quick, okay? Because we're coming toward the end of the show here. But
hi. Hey, there he is.
You remember this guy? I don't know if you remember him. We saw him at the Canfield Fair last year.
Yes, we
and
did.
at Chick-fil-A.
And at Chick-fil-A. And what?
Which day are we going to Disney?
Which day are we going to Disney? Unfortunately, we don't have an actual countdown right now, but we'll see. Are you buzzed?
That's an important question.
Yes.
It is an important question. Man. Yeah, we get it a lot.
After the show, we'll get the countdown started.
We get that question a lot. When are we going to Disney? Right?
Right.
Okay.
Which month are we going there?
Which month? If it doesn't happen before June, it'll probably be September or October. Okay?
Okay.
He hasn't asked in a long time. Yeah, for him, it has been a long time.
Yeah.
So this here,
You know what that is?
I think I know what it is, but is that like that's like a new, where is that?
That's Celebration Village.
No.
Good guess.
No. It's near, I know where it's at. I just can't think of the name. You're going to have to give it to me.
I don't see anything. I'm trying to see if in the comments, looking over here, I don't see anybody putting it in the comments, so maybe nobody knows or it hasn't shown up yet. Okay, so
Pat says they'll be there in 138 days, so maybe we'll be there. Okay.
Less than a year. The countdown has started.
Mary says change and plug local people too.
That is true. So I mean, there you go. You got. Yep. But I actually do agree with Marcus about the local. I mean, it's usually better too. It's cheaper.
Honestly, Starbucks has some of the worst coffee I've ever had.
That is not true. Dunkin' is the worst, but that's a
well. I know because I don't go there because that's all people say about it. So yes. That's why I said I've ever had.
Yes. Okay. There you go. Okay. That's fair. Although I do have a free, when I move, I can give you my booklet for the Market Street Dunkin' because I have a year free and it will still be a few months. You could take the free tickets and try it for free if you want to. So that's the only reason I'm still drinking there. But anyway.
Okay.
It's bad, but you keep drinking it.
But free. I mean,
because it was 100% free. So I don't know,
Everything tastes better when it's free.
Chris says it's way better than Starbucks. Dunkin'.
Yeah, it just depends on where you're at. Like ours is always watered down and it's not as bad. But
they only sell like two things, coffee and donuts, and almost neither of them are good.
I have a church friend who swears by Dunkin'. I mean, he has a Dunkin' cup in his hand every time I see him.
It better not be Vincent or else he's in trouble.
No.
Okay.
No. Okay, so
Okay, so no
where?
one's to this point, so I guess nobody knows. This
Wait,
is
let's ask Mary. If Mary is out there, Mary, do you know where this is? Mary, we're just asking.
yeah.
You even, I think it might even be in the picture description that
Is
I
it really?
have. So I can cheat. to
Seriously,
find
where is
out.
this place?
I was gonna say, and then he said, "Wait, let's wait." So
Yeah, let's wait. Let's wait a second here. Just a second or two. I want to give Mary one last shot at it because she's usually pretty good at figuring stuff out.
I.e., Googling.
Well,
And she
she
probably
just
snuck
knows.
out early. And oh no, she just said about the chains employing local people, so she's still here, I would think.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her a few seconds here. Let me
Okay.
see if I can.
Yeah, there's a bit of a delay sometimes.
Okay, I know what it is now.
You just
I know what
cheated,
it
though.
I did. I cheated. I looked at the name of the picture that I saved it under, but I know it's a newer section
Yes.
around Disney.
It is. It's newly built, although a form of it existed in the past. That's a clue for people who are trying to figure it out. I don't know why when I'm looking at the picture, I look and my eyes are at the top right of the picture. It's my peripheral vision is making me think that there's people in jumpsuits, and it's a prison in the bottom left. I just out of the corner, I keep thinking.
You mean like one of those special resorts and spa prisons?
Yeah. That orange. I don't know. It's just really weird.
Yeah, it
The
might be
Orange
the-
County Correctional Facility or whatever.
It's the orange chairs, I think, are doing that. Yeah.
Should I reveal what it is?
I guess. Yeah, we can't wait all night. So yeah, go ahead. Give it out.
Okay, so this is Flamingo Crossing. Formerly, the housing for college program cast members would be Vista Way. This is now on the west side of Disney, and it's the new housing for college program. Yeah, you got it. Now, I was saying it. I don't know. I mean, I feel like he got it. I think so.
The comment came up after you said it. They probably commented because of the delay.
I think, I'll give him no, and I think he got
there's
it.
like a 20-30 second delay, so it could have been right about as you were saying it.
Okay, yeah, I believe it. So where we're going to live, the center of everything we're doing is going to be 5 minutes from this location. So our goal is to reach these college students. A lot of them don't have cars, where I would say probably the majority of them don't have cars while they're there. Disney does give them free transportation, not only to work, but to other places that Disney owns. So Disney gives them the paycheck, then they take back the paycheck, get free labor. But what's nice is us living close, we can.
So it's indentured servitude.
Yes, I mean, but see, with the stories, they make you want to work there your whole life, so you don't even care that you're working for free and that you're actually using all your money for pins and everything. You're like, this is great.
That you have to trade away to other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
So-
this is the new college program area. Okay.
Yep. So that's just representative of the people that we'll be reaching and kind of that how close that is to Disney property.
Yeah.
How close it is to Disney property, more like it is.
Yeah, if you're
Disney
looking
property.
If you're looking for an actual home, at whatever point while you guys are down there, Victor Norwalki, the guy, he knows all the good places to live down there.
Okay,
So,
nice.
He's one of the big realtors for the Disney area.
Yeah, for sure. Is that one of the guys that was just commenting, or you're just saying generally speaking?
No. I mean, he's on Facebook, and I know him through Facebook, and he does some live streams periodically where he'll be like in the backyard or front yard of one of the houses where one of the houses he might be selling, or where he lives himself, and he'll do live streams so you can see the fireworks off in the distance at Magic Kingdom or whatever. So, yeah, he's a good guy.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So just that's just the image to show us where we're just to represent the people that we're going to be with, and so yeah, it's coming up soon. It's June 1st. We have some things to wrap up with the place I'm currently working, the church I'm currently working. But then we're moving June 1st. We had to kind of going back to like what I was talking about with the book. Like sometimes when you want to do something meaningful, you have to jump in sight unseen. So like when I bought the ticket for the marathon and I couldn't even run 5 miles. In the same way, we had to put our house on the market before we even had 1% supported.
Wow.
We had to resign from the church I was working at before we could publicly fundraise or ask people for support, because it wouldn't be right for me to say, well, we didn't get to 100%, so I guess I'm still here at the church. It didn't work out. So we said, well, we got to resign. Maybe we'll be, homeless without a job here in Youngstown June 1st or something. But we got to take that risk, because every good story involves risk. And so now
that was the faith and the trust part right there. You were living it.
Yeah. And now inviting people to kind of do the same thing with their lives. That's ultimately what we're looking at doing with the college program, is to say, okay, let's talk through meaning. Let's invite people into a more meaningful life. And let's talk through some of those things that, aren't always fun to talk about. It was a trauma for me, but other college students especially are facing transitions. They're facing tensions. And many of them, especially international students, are far from home. So creating a place in our home that is in an actual home, far from home, where we can have meals, we can play board games, but most importantly, we can have the conversations and the meetups where we're talking about things that actually matter.
Right.
And so that's our goal, and that's where we're going. Yeah. Soon.
Well, and there's his family.
Ellie is 5.5, and she's on the left there. And then Eliza's in the middle. She's just turned 1.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you definitely are taking to heart what you're preaching, as far as, the faith and the trust part, and just, taking it that next level. That marathon, okay, you had a non-refundable ticket. Yeah, that's a big deal.
Sure.
But this was a big jump for you. Now you said you're ahead for right now. You're still ahead on fundraising to help, support your mission. That you're going to be doing down there, specifically with cast members, college program cast members. Can people go to your website?
Yeah.
To try to help you with what you're doing?
Yeah. So let me just say just a few things about that. To recap, to remind you of what I said earlier. So it's day 70 out of 100, hoping by day 100 we'll be 100% supported. We're at 76% right now, so we are ahead. But we still have 24%. I don't know. I got to look at Marcus for the math here. Am I right there? Yeah. 24% left. He's the mathematician. So, we got the.
That is not at all true.
No, not true. He is not a mathematician.
1% per day. Now
1%. He did get that. He did figure that out. Yeah.
So we have 24% left. And, honestly, we spent the first 70 days meeting with everyone we knew. And so we're pretty much done meeting with everyone we know. Now we need people who know people. And all of you guys who are watching this, you say, well, this is the first time I ever heard of Josh Avery. Maybe I saw him in the comments before. Like I saw him post earlier a picture of, the Gaston Cup in the comments on the POV site. The reality, so for us, the thing is, what we're asking people to do, we've been trying to meet as personally as possible. So on Zoom, for many of you guys, is to say, hey, maybe you want to meet up with us Zoom, ask some more questions and know more. You can email us via the site. We have my email, my phone number is on the website. Call me, text me personally. That idea. But what we're asking people to do is consider being supporters with us, not to us, but with us. So the idea that, first of all, we are promising that we are keeping people updated on a monthly schedule. Every month, we're going to be sending out information via email to our supporters to say, this is what's happening. Here's what we're doing. And also filming some videos, too, that recap that, not just text-based. So supporters are updated that way. But we also, everything we've done in our training has been to say, be support to your supporters. Obviously, we can't financially support those who are supporting us. That makes no sense. But we, as Christians, then say, okay, well, what's going on in your life? Like, we want to know when your birthday is. And we just want to call you up and say, hey, we're going to pray for you on your birthday because we just want to pray for you. And we're going to know what's happening on an ongoing basis if you let us know those things. And we're going to say, yeah, we'll be praying for you. And we have a program that alerts us that says, this person's surgery is coming today. So this is a reminder. So again, that idea that we're inviting people to be a part of our team, to support us, on this ongoing basis. It's different from when I did missions trips where I raised an amount and then, okay, we're good. This is our life until God calls us somewhere else. So we're going to be continuing to need supporters for the foreseeable future. We will be working at Disney, but it's a minimum wage job.
Yeah.
So it's very
Mhm.
little. So the rest we have to raise. And so just to say to anybody listening that, yeah, please reach out to me here on Facebook, via the website, beyondthepixiedust.com has my email, my phone number. We would love to meet with you, not expecting anything from you except to say, would you hear more about the mission and vision? Would you be willing to ask your own questions? And then maybe if you believe in it enough to say, yeah, I'm willing to join in. I'm willing to be a supporter. So that's what we're asking of people.
And again, just to clarify, it's not like you're staying at one of the large resorts like the Grand Floridian and going to the parks every day.
Yeah, sure. Exactly.
Not like that.
No, not even close.
I may be in the parks every day, but it would be for my job. So
Yeah.
because I don't know where I'm going to be. So
That's
we're
right.
going to be living in our home. Everything's out of the home. And the only times we're going to be in the park would be if I'm working there, if it was just our personal visit, like we would from here. And I will say, as a Christian, again, we believe that God has to be a part of it, or it's not going to matter. Nothing's going to work from our worldview. So we will be, or at least I will be, with my free cast member pass, consistently prayer walking, especially World Showcase, and just praying for the different people that are working there. Obviously not hands-on because they're working. That's solicitation.
Right.
But getting to know people. And do I have 3 minutes to share one more story with you of how this worked when I was there last?
Yeah, I mean, go ahead. We got a few. You go ahead.
Okay. So when I was down there, it's funny because it wasn't a college program and it was an international person, which is who we're going to reach. But when we were down there in Florida, my mom paid for a trip for us to go down when we were there in February. And we went down, and I was in Magic Kingdom late at night by myself, and I walked by this elderly guy, and I thought he was picking up trash, but it turned out he was walking with a cane. And it was like 10 o'clock at night. Magic Kingdom was about to close, and I went back, and I had been praying by myself, just walking around and prayer walking. And so walked by him, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to go back and I thanked him for everything he was doing. And as we've been talking about, when the cast member's working, you don't talk about sad things. It's all things are going good. And so we started talking. We were talking for 20 minutes, and he talked about living nearby, and he mentioned his wife a few times and says, him and his wife, like to go on these day cruises out into the ocean, and they come back in the same day. And, he lives with his adult kids. And so all these just different things about his family. And then he said, my wife and I, we're doing another one of these day cruises next week. But he said, it's going to be a little different this time because my wife passed away a month ago. And he said, well, I'm going to be going to bring her ashes to spread in the ocean. And so, it was really something that, again, as a Christian, from my perspective, it wasn't just that he's an old guy and, well, now I'm so old, I'm just going to say whatever I want while I'm working here. But it was that I had been praying for opportunities. And that's really, as far as the parks are concerned, we have a team of 4 college program students right now who are already there ahead of us, who we've already met with, who are Christians, who are going to be kind of getting people to us. We have my job as I meet people, getting people to us. But then ultimately also, with God's help, meeting people in that very authentic way while prayer walking the parks, where we say, you know what, I've never had a cast member conversation like that, meeting somebody for the very first time. And all of a sudden he's telling about his wife died and he's really struggling with this and this, and being able to talk to him in that moment. So that is a method as well, that in the parks that we really will do. And it doesn't have anything to do with riding rides. In fact, we probably rarely will. But it will just be a matter of meeting people in authentic ways. So
that's awesome. That's a neat story. I mean, that's that's life. I mean, and the cast members are living life just like the rest of us. And I think a lot of times that's forgotten. And I think reaching out to them is a great mission. And that's something that, that's something to that's worthwhile to support. So if anyone out there, please go to the website. We posted it a few times here during the show. And, we just, it's been great to have you in our lives. And I'm just sort of happy that our paths have crossed. I know you're going to be moving away here in just a couple of months, not even a month and a half, not even a month and a half. But I know you're going to be at Disney, and I know our paths are going to continue to cross many more times. So
we might rope you into some things. You think you're going for a vacation, and then next thing you know, it's like, well, I didn't sign up for this. Now we're going to be going, and You know, we'll see.
I know it could happen. It could happen. You just let us know. You let us know, and yeah, and you know, we'll try and keep passing the word along. You know, try and get you to that 100% mark for your
Yep.
support for your mission.
Thanks.
But we definitely wish you the best. We pray, you know, that this is going to be an awesome journey for you and your family. And
Yeah.
I'm going to pop them back up here one more time, just because they're so darn cute.
I just realized, let me say one very important thing before we go. And that is, people might be thinking, so is he asking me to pay? Is he like asking people to PayPal him or Venmo some money? No, we're not. The Free Methodist Church that I'm a part of is sending us, and they're seeing it as a church plant, even though it's not a traditional church. So all the money's going through the church. So I just wanted to say that because some people might be like, now this sounds kind of sketchy. Just Venmo him some after the show. It's like, oh.
No. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yep. Yeah.
This is legit. This is legit, guys.
Yeah.
This is a good guy. We know him. But and then also you're, you know, Beyond the Pixie Dust. Are you? Is that still like on? You know.
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
Amazon.
You can Google it. It's on Amazon, and then if you live in the area, I have copies, so I can get them for cheaper to you. But yeah, most of you I don't think do. So
yeah,
Amazon.com.
Mine's a signed copy right there.
It could be worse something
Campbell
someday.
Fair Llama area.
That's right. Yes, we were doing. What were we doing?
We were sitting by the goats.
With goats and llamas, and we were doing some kind of we were helping out with something. Some kind of event we had to help with. But anyway, Josh, it's been wonderful talking with you.
You too.
If again, let us know if you need anything, and we're just happy that you could be on the show with us tonight.
Right.
Have a great rest of your week. This is onday Monday. Does it seem like Monday? Doesn't seem like a Monday.
Every day is fuzzy now with so much going on. What day is it?
But again, thank you for being on the show. We'll continue to keep you in our thoughts and prayers, and I'm sure everything's going to go smoothly for you guys. So,
thank you.
Okay, take care. Good night.
See you later.
Oh man, it is hot in this room. Are you hot in this room?
A little bit, yeah.
This room we're in right now, it's like hot. It's hot in here. But so that was Josh Avery, guys, from Beyond the Pixie Dust. Again, you can go to his website, www.beyondthepixiedust.com.
Can I just sing it out now so that
find out more details? Apparently,
he's
got the urges. Okay, you ready?
You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, I do. Ready?
Okay, please.
And a one, and a two, and a three.
Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company.
We'll sing it quicker.
M-I-C,
see you real soon. K-Y. Why? Because we like you. M-O-U-S-E. I'll let him out of here. Yes. It is. We've had 101 in his room. It's probably in the 90s in our room right now. I had actually the window over here to my left. I opened it up to try and get some air through the room, but it's just so hot. The other problem is I've got like 3 or 4 computers sitting in this room, all running, generating heat, to help run the show. So that doesn't help any. But and then we got our big light up here and all this stuff. So anyway, again, thank you to Josh Avery for being on the show. If you get a chance to help support the mission that he's going to be doing, that would be awesome. So next week, I didn't even get to mention this. Next week is our, this is like crazy. Next week is our Modern Day Miracles annual broadcast, where, we'll talk about the day I died. Yes, it will be coming this Saturday, 7 years ago, this coming Saturday, where I dropped dead for about 15 minutes and came back without brain damage, maybe, I think. And so always a fun show. But we appreciate you guys being out there. We all hope you have a great rest of your week, and we hope to see you again next Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, as usual. I think that's it. See you real soon.